Hey warriors, Sarah Madras here. I wanted to hop on real quick and do a little video because I was in a session the other day with a client and something popped up that I thought, I bet you a lot of people are mixing these two things up as well. Because I know that before this journey, I used to mix this up as well. And so I want to talk to you today about mixing up the meaning of confidence with self-esteem. So, for me, I know that this happened to me too before my self-esteem journey, is that because I was outspoken and because I would advocate or be assertive, I thought, well, I don't have any issues with self-esteem. Like, I'm a confident person. I talk to people. I'm outgoing, and so I thought that that's what self-esteem was until I learned that that's just the surface level. Okay, that's more of confidence or more of being an extrovert and outgoing and stuff like that. Whereas the self-esteem is, how do you handle adversity and criticism? And when you have self-esteem, it's when the adversity and criticism is coming at you, but it doesn't knock you over. Like, it doesn't drag you down, it doesn't trip you up. Like, it can kind of catch you and like push you back a little bit, but then you check in and you catch yourself and you keep on going because you know who you are and you know your worth. And so when I was working with her, she said, well, I don't understand why I'm having trouble in my relationships. I don't understand why I can't connect, or why when a man rejects me, I always go back for more, and I don't understand why he doesn't like me. And I said, well, that's because you're looking to this man to be your source of approval and validation because you're not believing you're worthy of yourself. She said, well, I'm confident. I go into offices for work and I do sales and I talk to people and I don't have any problem, with being outgoing and with talking to people. That's because that's just one component of it. That's just the surface level, okay? So the real deep, core, solid, resilient self-esteem, that has 7 pillars to it, okay? And so it's knowing what are your areas of strength and what are your weak spots. So the 7 pillars are your core values, your boundaries, self-trust, being a thought boss, self-care, connecting, body connection, and then your self-worth, okay? So all of those 7 pillars is what surrounds you and keeps you strong and resilient, right? And so for her pillar of being a thought boss isn't as strong. Like, that's one of her weak spots, okay? Her boundaries is one of her weak spots because she keeps seeking guys' approval even though they're breaking her boundaries and even though they're being disrespectful. So, but one of her areas of strength is her body connection and her confidence in her body and her sexuality and her being, okay? And so I just wanted to talk about this because I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, there's nothing, I am not struggling with anything, everything's great, because you have that surface level confidence, and then you're constantly asking yourself, well, why aren't my relationships going right? Or why do I feel unhappy or not fulfilled? Well, that's because there's there's 7 whole pillars that are making that up, okay? So for me, for example, through doing this work, I know that my strengths are my core values, my boundaries, my self-trust, and my self-worth. And I know that my weak spots are my thought boss. I have thoughts rattle around in my head all the time. And so I constantly have to remind myself to frame them in a positive way, or to catch myself with those self-defeating thoughts or those thoughts that keep me small. So that's an area that I'm still working on. And so then the other area that I'm still working on is my body connection. I'm not connected to my body like I would like to be. I'm not accepting and loving of it, okay? And so I know that's my weak spot. And so I know, hey, I have these areas of strength, and then I also have these areas of growth that I still want to stretch and still want to work on and fulfill. And so I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, I don't have any of these pillars set. We all have our strengths. And I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, I have them all set, so I'm good. Because we all have our weak spots too. It's working on those weak spots and knowing what they are and stretching them and growing. So I hope that helps kind of clear up the mix-up between why am I confident and able to go out and speak in front of people or put myself out there or things like that, and then that disconnect of, but I still feel like crap, or I still try to please people, or I take rejection personal, that kind of stuff. It creates that disconnect, and then we get confused because we think, well, that can't possibly be the problem. And so I kind of want to just give that little breakdown so that you know and can help you, give you some insight of the difference between confidence and self-esteem. So if you want to comment below, and I'd love if you shared with us what you feel your strengths and your limitations are. I shared mine with you, and I would love to hear what yours are too. And as we're going on this journey together, because we're always works in progress, we can continue to help encourage and support each other as we strengthen those weak spots. All right. And I see somebody's on here. Yay! That's so exciting. I wish I knew how to like hit the love button back to let people know that I see them, because I just see names popping up. So, so nice to have you on here live. Again, comment below and let me know what videos you want me to do or what questions you have, and I'll do live videos for those too. All right. Thanks. Bye.